People no longer bound by their non-disclosure agreements. What can you now disclose? I disclosed to a minority partner that the majority partner owed him $100K. He could have easily received a check for that amount, but he sued for $700K, spent $300K on a lawyer and got nothing. The secret ingredient in Jimmy John's tuna salad is Kikkoman soy sauce. I worked at a small bakery in New York City when I was younger. Every morning the bakery would take their day-old cupcakes and deliver them to a tour company that did Sex and the City tours. The tour company would pass our cupcakes off as cupcakes from Magnolia, and significantly much more popular bakery. I used to work for a large gas station chain. I worked at its warehouse where it creates a lot of the donuts. The room was really hot, so we were always sweating. There's some machines where the donuts get glazed in chocolate. They're these small machines, they look almost like a barbecue grill. They always wanted us to be super fast glazing the donuts. Working in a hot room and working at super fast speeds, it was natural for a lot of people's sweat to just drip in the chocolate underneath us. Never eat the chocolate donuts from a gas station. I was wrongfully terminated by a past employer. They lowballed the settlement offer and withheld payment on my accrued vacation. This part was actually illegal. It took about a year to get to the point where their attorneys realized that we were not lying about them holding back the accrued vacation, and this caused them to make a more than generous offer to make my claim against them go away. People wouldn't believe how old-fashioned IT systems are behind big online shops, etc. Like anyone with decent IT skills would be able to crack them. Some of them are 30 years old command liners that are only in place because everything got built around them and have never been replaced. My last company, a medium-sized airline, paid their CEO a $10 million bonus after he bankrupted the company. I once had to sign an NDA to get a price on a printer for my sign shop. This was a printer that was only sold by one distributor, by the way, so there wasn't even any direct competition on this particular model. I think their gimmick was that if they make a really big deal out of giving you this super secret pricing, that you'd be lulled into thinking it was really something special. Edit. Interesting comment by you Beard Stashman below, who probably has the right idea as to what was going on with this practice. I'm still bound, but insider trading is real. An executive often step down or retire early for getting caught. Never had an NDA on this, but if I give too much info, I'll get tagged and likely get in serious trouble. BCBS had a severe security breach back in 2007. If you were with them in a certain area of the country and ever called them the number for help on your account, all of your personal info was caught by a third party. Every caller, every piece of data. They never disclosed this breach. Edit. Clarification. The $100 million electronic component broker that I worked for shafted me out of $900,000 in commissions when I was in my early 20s. They assumed I would not have enough money to fight them in court, and they took their shot. I got a lawyer on contingency, sued them, and took home a $500,000 settlement in 2000. The 20 years NDA recently expired, and they can continue to kiss my ass until their graves. I worked at a gym. And in the showers there was yellow shampoo and blue body wash in pump dispensers. I found out that the only difference between the two soaps was the color. Edit. Memory jog, as it was 25 years ago. Hand soap was blue, body wash was green, shampoo was yellow. All the same. Edit. 2. As funny as the replies are, it wasn't an NDA about soap. It was just a generic employment NDA to protect the privacy of members and business affairs of the gym. Portal 3 was in development at some point. Got a tour of Valve in 2013 and got to see a very early stage of the game. Pretty sure it's not coming out anymore. My mom had to sign an NDA about Ricky Martin being gay. I had to sign an NDA to work at this tech company, and I'm still waiting to accidentally overhear something cool so I can feel special for knowing something important but being legally barred from disclosing it. Star Wars Battlefront 2 EA will have microtransactions. The NDA was signed in 2016. I was getting more and more worried as the release date kept getting closer, and then it happened. The backlash was so strong that EA went down in the history books as most downvoted comment in Reddit's history. My NDA is classified military information. Of course, it's almost 25 years now, so I can tell you about the Battle of Norfolk. We're gonna shoot the other guys. In the IT world, it is often that the piece of internal software or system that gives your company an edge is not quite as huge a deal as it seems. Often it is not much more than a couple of technologies mashed together to automate things in a way nobody else is doing yet. And those things are fiercely guarded. I had cases where people saw stuff in action and tried to replicate it but could not because they were missing just one small piece. I used to work as a programmer for Bloomberg. During the time Mike was mayor, he would often have Bloomberg staff work on programming efforts for the city in order to have control over them. I worked on several DOE applications so that Bloomberg didn't have to negotiate contracts with teachers. I also worked on his mayoral elections many times. X200B. All the harassment claims are true. Bloomberg was a frat boy and so were his lieutenants. The cake cupcake shop I used to work for claimed everything was homemade, but used Pillsbury cake mix as a base. I used to work for a company. The things I could tell you. I could disclose. Edited. I just found out even though I don't work there and haven't worked there for several years. I can still get in trouble for disclosure and identifying people. Take back your upvotes. The head shop smoke shop I used to work at sold Whippets nitrous cartridges behind the counter under the guise of being cake ingredients. All someone had to do was walk in and say they were looking to bake a cake. I'm not sure if they still do it, but I wouldn't be surprised. I worked as a nanny for a senator. He and his wife slept in separate beds and he had a girlfriend. If you create your own business cards at the design and print station at a certain office retail center that rhymes with dead sex orifice, you're paying for 5 times what you should because the whole system is done through. You could literally design and order the same amount and quality of business cards from your home for $10 as opposed to $39.99 or more you'd pay in the store. Sometimes Vistaprint will run promotions where you get 250 quality cards for free. But if you order them at dead sex orifice, you're gonna pay out the wazoo for the exact same thing. University I used to teach at did not care what prospective students got for entry into the university. In multiple meetings I attended, they treated students as headcounts towards better course statistics, and if a single student was underperforming in a single semester, instead of removing them they would give them just above the threshold to stay on. This happens across a lot of universities. Final grading decisions were not down to me but course directors and head lecturers. I had raised it multiple times to an anonymous hotline at the university, but nothing was ever done. Their machine doesn't do what they want it to. Because they designed it and they're not engineers. Also, all investments into their company is investment into a long-term project that they are making out will take way less time than it will. Edit. I'm afraid I never worked for Theranos or Tesla. I actually can't name the company, but it hires 2 people currently. I'd rather not risk it, but let's just say hypothetically that a certain tech company who is, inside, keeps its campuses pretty subpar. I'm talking old, run-down buildings that need dozens of buckets everywhere to catch water every time it rains. They bully companies and the local economy to put up with their horse-shot cause they know they're too big to hear a no. Hypothetically. Edit. I feel like I'm about to get a very angry, and legal jargon-filled, phone call. Also, I'm leaving horse-shot cause I think it's funny. How seriously amazing Anthem felt, played, looked, and preformed in the pre-alpha closed test. My god, how the greats have fallen. That was a new sock. It was never washed and tied. Ex-prop guy on TV commercials. I sued my boss for sexual harassment. I'm guessing I'm still not supposed to tell, but fuck them. Won some money, got a better